Okay, so I'm gonna be extremely real with you in this video. If you're watching short form content right now, I don't care if it's Instagram Reels, Facebook Reels, or TikToks, and your goal is to make it big at a young age, get rich, build wealth for yourself, you're completely ruining your chances of doing so by watching short form content. And I'm gonna explain to you why that is and also the easiest way to fix this, because you need to understand that right now there's a war going on. Like these companies, these different short form platforms and people are making content, they're fighting for your attention. And what that's doing is completely fucking up your dopamine receptors. It's making you completely, like your dopamine system is completely screwed up because of this. You're getting dopamine, you're getting like this good feeling from scrolling on TikTok, on Instagram, on YouTube. I did the exact same thing, and that's why I was broke for a long ass time. It completely fucks up our brains. It's very sad to see. And I want to make this video because I want to help you out. I genuinely want to help you break this addiction. Because I speak to so many young guys and myself as well a couple of years ago. Like I was addicted to this stuff, and because of that I couldn't see success. Then I made a simple change in terms of, it's like a blueprint that I followed to get out of that addiction and addict myself to something that was actually helpful, and that allowed me to change my life, make more money than I know what to do with, create my dream life at 22 years old, make more than a well-paid doctor every single month by just addicting myself or getting addicted to the right type of dopamine. And it's a very simple thing, it's not even that hard to do, which is why I'm making this video, to explain that to you so you can actually just take action to this stuff right away, implement, and stop being completely cooked by watching short form content all day long. Because what's happening right now, you probably notice it's way harder for yourself to make it right now. Like you're trying to maybe have goals of making it big at a young age, you're trying to start different businesses, you're trying to make money online, trying to learn different high income skills, and you're noticing that it's so hard to make stuff work. You can't sit down and just focus and actually get something done. And there's a very simple reason behind that. It's because when you're sitting down, trying to get work done, trying to move forward in your business ideas and trying to succeed and everything like that, what's happening in your brain is you're attached to getting dopamine from short form content. So guess what? Obviously it's gonna be hard for you to sit down and put in the inputs to actually grow a business or learn a high income skill when you're used to getting dopamine all the time, constantly from just scrolling on TikTok. Obviously, it's that's why you're struggling right now, and this is only gonna get worse and worse until you figure out a way to get out of this addiction. And I'm saying this because I experienced this exact same stuff. I remember when I was trying to start making money online, I was just on different platforms, watching videos, watching Instagram Reels, TikToks, all that different stuff. I remember telling myself I'm not gonna get on TikTok because TikToks is only for brain rot and retards. And then guess what? I ended up on Instagram Reels instead. And it's the exact same thing. And I was on there, I was scrolling and I was trying to do some work, trying to move forward with making money online, and I couldn't focus. I remember sitting down in front of my computer and trying to do some stuff, and then whenever I faced a challenge, whenever stuff got hard, I would just revert back to short form content. And this is it's completely fucked. And this is why I think our generation, the biggest challenge we're gonna face, that the people that are able to beat the short form addiction, those are the only people that will actually make it. And people that are not doing that, if you don't actually watch this and actually figure out a way to overcome this addiction, you're gonna be screwed. Especially with AI coming and everything that's developing so quickly. At this point, it's never been easier to start making and building wealth online. But still, most people are not even gonna go out and take advantage of that because they're so screwed up in terms of their dopamine levels. So it's extremely important. And you need to actually get this stuff under control, or else you're gonna be completely screwed. So how do you do this? What's the actual blueprint to fix this? Number one is just understanding that you need to rewire your dopamine, where you get dopamine from. So how do you do that? It's because first off, understand building a business, learning a high income skill, everything that this is, it's all about just stepping into a new version of yourself. The reason why you have goals of making it at a young age to begin with is because there is a version of you that's already made it. So that all you need to do, it's not about working harder, it's not about grinding your ass off and working super long hours. Everything that you need to do, everything that really changed my life, it was not about, okay, I'm gonna work 2 more hours per day, I'm gonna push myself harder. No. It was just about stepping into the new version of myself. Ask myself, what would the version of myself that's already making this money, what would he be doing right now? That's the question you need to ask yourself. And then what you do by asking that question, you tune in to this new frequency. You tune into this new version of yourself. You start acting like them, start thinking like them, start moving like them. And guess what? Your results become exactly like them as well. So ask yourself, what would that version of yourself do? Would they be watching short form content, getting dopamine from that? Or would they be getting dopamine from something else? Pretty obvious, right? But then like, how do we actually do that though? Because like that's the simple part, is like just ask yourself that question. How do we actually get rid of this addiction and then get yourself addicted to the good stuff that actually allows you to make money? Because the shift that I made, it's so powerful. It's allowing me to reach at this point, like the only dopamine or like the biggest dopamine hits that I get are from making money. Like, I get way more dopamine from making money, and that's how I'm able to not be addicted to like any of this bad stuff, like short-form content, etc. Because I get so much bigger dopamine hits by just like doing work, getting better at my skill set, and making money. And that's obviously the ideal way of doing things, because when you get dopamine from making money and like improving it, getting better at your skill set, guess what? You're gonna make a shit ton of money, and it's gonna become almost effortless as well, because you get dopamine from that instead of short form. So how do we actually do that? It's very simple, okay? First thing you need to do is go for a period where you just completely remove short form from your life, okay? Completely just like remove it altogether, okay? Understand that this is the most simple, and it's not gonna be easy to do. It's probably gonna be like pretty hard, like just starting off, but doing this it's by far the most like simple way to just like reset your brain, you know, reset your dopamine levels, clean out all of this addiction to like quick dopamine, remove everything. So for like a week, 2 weeks, 3 weeks, you remove all short form from your life completely. Just like commit to it, go all in. And if you're struggling with this, just ask yourself, what would this version of you that's successful do? And be willing to sacrifice. Be willing to sacrifice the short form discomfort for long-term gain. So that's the first thing. You just remove everything. What that's gonna do is gonna reset your brain back to like a normal level, in like a normal, because short form is fucking up your dopamine. Like you're getting so much information such a short amount of time every single day that you're getting completely screwed. Like there's all these emotions. You see like some like half naked woman dancing on TikTok, then you see like some political stuff and some racist stuff. Like there's so many different opinions, so many different views that you're just getting like overloaded with information. So we need to remove that, set like a baseline. And what you're gonna notice when you do this, you're gonna get so much more clarity. I notice this massively. I've done this multiple times over and over again in my life, where I just like have these like resets because sometimes I fall back into this habit. Like I'm not perfect. Sometimes I fall back into watching short form content, and then what I do is I just do these resets. So I do like 1 to 2 weeks of like no short form at all, and by doing that I reset myself to like a good base level. And then what you'll be able to do, the cool thing what happens then is, and this is really the greatest part about specifically the business model that I do, which is called high ticket sales, is then what I do is like I clean up my life so I don't have like this short form like dopamine instinct I want to go watch short form. And then what happens when you do this is naturally your body and like your being, you're gonna seek out other ways to get dopamine. And then guess what? If you're doing like me, you're in high ticket sales, which you should be doing if you're a young guy trying to make money online, because it's the fastest and the best skill to learn right now. Then you're attaching yourself to learning the skills of high ticket sales, getting better at the skill, and then you get all of your dopamine from doing that. Because the beautiful thing with sales, and why I think this is the best way to kind of like reprogram your dopamine, is with sales. Imagine yourself, like when you're doing high ticket sales, basically what that is, if you don't know what it is, you hop on Zoom calls every single day, you work for an influencer, you take sales calls with pre-sold, pre-qualified leads that already want to buy, take these calls and you close deals on behalf of an influencer, and then you get paid commissions for taking like 30 to 60 minute Zoom calls and closing deals. Take a couple of these calls every single day, and then the dopamine hits that comes from this are like next level. Imagine like if you don't have any short form in your life, you don't have any of this like cheap or like fake dopamine. Imagine the dopamine hits that you get by showing up to a sales call, closing let's say like a $10,000 deal, getting paid a 10% commission, aka making $1,000 in like 30 minutes or an hour. Like that's where you get the insane amount of dopamine. And that's how I just rewired my brain, because what I did, I removed all the short form. I was just focused on sales and my high ticket sales role that I started off in. And then by doing that, I got all of my dopamine from sales. And then guess what? I found myself learning more about sales, getting more mentorship, you know, putting in a lot of hours outside of work just to get better at the skill set and like develop and get better so I could close more people next day, make more money and get more dopamine. And then that's the positive loop. That's how I was able to go from being broke and stuck with the short form stuff to then just like spiral and make more and more and more money with this industry, because I got better at the skill and I got all of my dopamine from just doing sales. And I was able to just like set my life up in a way where I was, and still to this point where I get all of my enjoyment, or at least like most of my enjoyment, from just getting better at the skill, making more money, because I reprogrammed my brain to get dopamine from sales, get better at the skill and closing more deals, instead of getting the dopamine from fake stuff, which is scrolling on TikTok, scrolling on Instagram. So you can apply this exact same thing in your own life. Just understand it. Like, first off, understand that your success and your ability to make it. Like, I'm seriously telling you, you're watching this video right now, it 100% depends on your ability to stop being addicted to short form. Like, this is a question of, like, are you gonna make it or not? So actually take this seriously. Block out the next like week, 2 weeks, 3 weeks, however much time you need, and completely remove short form from your life. Pick a business model, pick a skill to start learning. I recommend high ticket sales. If you want my help to learn that skill, I've helped a bunch of people to learn that skill and get into good roles. You can apply for my coaching down below. But regardless, learn a skill, focus on a business model, and just start doing that during this time. And then what you're gonna notice is when you remove short form and you're doing this other business model, when you're making progress in a business model, when you start making money, which is why I recommend high ticket sales, because high ticket sales, you start making money pretty quickly. You can, in like about 2 to 4 weeks, you can start making money with it as a complete beginner. With that, you're gonna start reprogramming your dopamine system to get dopamine from the business model. And then guess what? You're gonna be more and more addicted towards that and making more money with that. And then short form is just gonna kind of like fall out of the picture. And all of a sudden you're gonna be making it very big, making way more money than you're making right now, and your life changes by doing that. So hopefully this makes sense, and take action on this stuff. Like, please, I don't want you to be screwed like I was in the past, and I see way too many people is like, honestly, being on a path towards ruining their life through short form. And it's so simple to fix. So let's get it, take action on this stuff. And if you want my help, as always, as I said, you can apply for my mentorship down below. I have a bunch of roles I can place you in high ticket sales and also train you up. So you can apply for that, we can call with me. If you have any questions, DM me on Instagram, and I'll see you guys in the next video. Stop watching short form.